We have arrived at the semifinals, and we have two longtime players. Both of them won gym challenges before. Allan Martinez, Giovanni Costa. You've seen them both on stream earlier, but they're going to go head-to-head, and the winner we will see again later in our finals. Isn't that right, baby? But this is going to be a very interesting match, and we have completed the Ogre Pawn, I guess, quartet today. We've seen all of them on some sort of team. Today, in this matchup, we're going to see Wellspring for Giovanni. And Allan's got the classic teal mask form. And here we go. On the left is Allan with Iron Hands, that Ogre Pawn teal mask. Golden Go, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Arcanine Hisui, and Roaring Moon. Giovanni on the right with Flutter Mane for a Giraffe, Iron Hands, Golden Go, Ogre Pawn Wellspring, and Urshifu single strike form.
Yeah, both of them with their own Golden Goes.
We saw it a couple weeks ago as a Golden Go off.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a really, really solid Pokemon in general. But there is a bit of a differentiation on these two. Giovanni's running Choice Specs, and Allan is running Metal Coat. So
yeah, these are very different sets, and they're also different Terras. The defensive Dragon Terra for Allan, it's the offensive Steel Terra for Gio. And, as offensive as a Steel Terra can be.
Literally, it's already a good type.
I still laugh seeing Gio's trainer card. It catches me off guard every time. I keep not expecting it.
And there's that Flutter Mane Urshifu single strike with Allan going for that Arcanine Hisui and Golden Go. I think this is solid, to be honest. The Terra, it's solid, but at the same time, it does kind of put a target on this Golden Go's back. Not much can hit this Arcanine at the moment. You can go for potential close combat, but I think ideally what you could do right now is it's one of those games like, okay, do I play the right Terra, etc.? Because you got Terra Dragon, but you also got to watch out for a Moonblast from Flutter. But is that going to be enough to knock out? And is this double attack on Goldengo going to happen? So it's mind games. Who's Gio going to attack if you're Allan right now? But I do think Gio's in a bit of a good spot here. And that's, yeah, that Moonblast I feel like was the right call. If you partner with a Wicked Blow, then you kind of just get rid of Goldengo.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's certainly a, you can pick one or the other, or you could just, like, launch both attacks into the Golden Go, and worst thing that happens is that right there, you get the knockout. We'll get the Flare Blitz knockout on the other end. Flutter Mane's going to go down. Does mean Flutter Mane, on paper, did very little this battle, although you can't say that it was worthless to get that damage down.
And, ooh, it is that Wellspring Ogre Pawn versus Iron Hands. I actually think that was, Allan, you know what, kind of a solid sacrifice there. Yeah. Mainly because you're locked on a Wicked Blow with the Urshifu, so now this Arcanine, I actually think either you could stay in Terra or just switch it. I mean, the other Pokemon is the Urshifu Rapid Strike. So you're not going to get hit very heavy from Ogre Pawn right now. They're probably going to go for that.
Keep in mind, Gio is Sash or Shifu.
Yes, so
it can switch out of Wicked Blow. It could go close combat if it wants to. It just doesn't have that many good moves.
No,
it doesn't hit fairy types.
And I think honestly you could go for maybe a Fake Out plus Terra Blast, or just Terra Blast turn 1 and then Fake Out the Ogre Pawn that way. I mean, it's like so many different options here. Gio just isn't in the right offensive position right now because of that Arcanine Hisui Terra, but it does not, it's not guaranteed. It's a bulkier Arcanine Hisui, but it's still somewhat fragile, so but now it resists both of the 2 stab moves from that Urshifu. And the Fake Out going on to Ogre Pawn.
Yeah, nice early Fake Out. Close combat will be the choice into the Arcanine, and it will do nothing.
Yeah,
about a quarter.
Resisting that fighting attack is always useful, and because of that Fake Out Ogre Pawn, it just comes in to go down. And Giovanni now already down to his last 2 Pokemon.
And that means that the Urshifu is not going to be able to undo its close combat drops, and it's going to come down to the Golden Go. This is a tough situation for Gio to be in, because most of the time you're probably going to want to make it rain here, but you don't want to be dropping your stats so much with 3 Pokemon remaining on the other side.
You're locked into only 1 move too, so if you lock in to make it rain, you have to commit to it.
Rely on it for the rest of the battle. I don't know what you can do against this Iron Hands, to be totally honest.
Yeah, that's the
Your best damage is probably Psyshock, which isn't what you want to lock your Golden Go into at this point.
Actually, ironically, I think it is the best bet, though, knowing that the Pokemon in the back is Urshifu Rapid Strike.
Yeah.
So it is technically the best bet. But I think we are going to see a Terra Steel make it rain here.
Yeah, which isn't a...
Okay, Psyshock incoming!
Well, Pterodart, I don't dislike this because you can Wicked Blow the Arcanine, which should be able to get rid of it, I would imagine.
I'd imagine that's basically it.
And then legitimately, you Psyshock. Well, we were joking about it. I mean, that's why you bring those coverage moves.
Yeah.
You don't use them in 20 battles, but the one battle that you do, the 5% of battles that you do ever bring it.
Yeah, Psyshock.
We'll see the Psyshock, and that's really good damage
really
right
good.
there.
Oh, Wild Charge into the Golden Go slot. That might not have been the right call there.
Yeah.
And I think the reason is this Urshifu. You now put your Iron Hands into position where Wicked Blow may just be able to pick up the knockout.
Yeah.
I think you kind of have to Surging
even
Strikes,
if it doesn't. This will be close. Okay, Surging Strikes onto the Golden Go. That should pick up that knockout.
I think actually, you know what? I think Allan's got it still because
I think Allan's got it still, but it's a little closer than it should be.
Yeah.
It makes us a little nervous.
This Wicked Blow here. Oh, it's close combat onto the Iron Hands. That's valid, honestly, because you're Focus Sash anyways. But
this,
well, actually,
is it gonna come down to a speed tie? It shouldn't, right?
I think actually,
I don't think anything that. Oh, but it doesn't matter that it's sashed.
I think if Geo didn't get that defense drop, it may have come down to a speed tie. But because there's that close combat, and I need to calc that because it looks like it was close, and it looks like there was a good chance that Surging Strike still wouldn't have knocked out.
I think the Surging Strikes would have been enough damage, and whatever was pulled down on the other end probably wouldn't have. But anyways, Allan wins game number 1. Really solid game there from Allan.
Yeah.
I like how Geo tried to pull it back in the last few moments, but
Psyshock does a lot more than I thought. I'll admit that.
Psyshock is kind of crazy, and especially, I mean, the reason why you bring it is because of Assault Vest shenanigans and stuff like that. You don't do a lot of special damage, and so let's see some physical damage.
Yeah. I actually think that was a good lead, kind of just sacrificing the Golden Go right away, and I think it's still the right play. We saw the two Pokemon in the back being... We had Urshifu and Arcanine in the hands, so I think the only thing that I would watch out for in this next matchup, if you're Allan, that Geo could really adjust for is speed control. You could go for... like the Flutter Mane has Icy Wind, and so even if you don't sacrifice, and I think we saw that it didn't really do anything in match 1, so even if it's a repeat for Geo, that one Icy Wind could really change the tide by forcing a switch out, and then if you're positioned right, like say your Flutter Mane does go down, you now can be in a position to start attacking with Ogerpon in a much better spot.
I feel like that first turn is not very different if it's instead of like Moonblast Wicked Blow, it's Icy Wind Wicked Blow, because either way, like Wicked Blow would then be a neutral hit into the Golden Go, and that should still probably be enough alongside the Icy Wind if it's Terastallized.
Yeah. And then like it doesn't matter. I would actually...
That's assuming that it's the same lead.
Yeah, assuming it, but I think...
Which is not a great assumption, especially with how long Allan is considering this.
You could also bring in Roaring Moon. I mean, it's pretty solid against...
Never a bad decision.
No, it's really not. And I think it can pretty much put pressure on half of Geo's team alone. Oh, Allan's got 10 seconds to lock this in. Oh, let's hope...
Gotta think quick.
Go really fast. I think that's a solid 5. A little different, but not a bad lead.
It's never change some stuff up. You're up 1-0. You can get a little bit silly with it.
Yeah.
There's not a huge downside to it.
And I think though Ogerpon is going to actually put some pressure on Flutter Mane a bit more, and it allows you to protect your Golden Go while you can just go for Ivy Cudgels. And Flutter Mane Golden Go leaving for Giovanni's side, while Ogerpon Golden Go is going to lead for Allan's side. It's not bad, actually. Both Golden Goes are in an interesting spot, but what I find interesting is you pay attention to that booster energy, which is speed. And now you're like, okay, you know what? Ogerpon doesn't really... It's not in a solid position to Terra right now, which is, I think, what the plan was, to maybe just Terra right away and get rid of Flutter Mane. So I think maybe Follow Me is solid, and then Goldango can't really do anything. You're pretty much safe to Shadow Ball one of the two if you're Allan, if you just Follow Me here. So
yeah, or you could Nasty Plot. You know, there's not really a good reason to, but you could.
Yeah, I think we saw Make It Rain, which is also valid because this Flutter Mane is
Flutter really hard.
definitely going down.
It'll be the Terra Steel for Geo's Goldango. So
Right
it
away.
Might be thinking the same idea on trying to get that Make It Rain down. Do we have? We don't know which one is faster.
That
straight
Protect
up.
is a good Protect on Flutter. I think we saw Follow Me here. No Spiky Shield. Okay,
Spiky
well, there you go.
Shield.
So it's the exact same turn.
Yeah, so they'll just be hitting each other. Make It Rain. It is Geo's moving first here. Not a guarantee that it's faster, but it is moving first here.
Not horrible. That's a lot.
That's way more damage than I thought it would.
That's an absurd amount.
This should do less. Metal Coat will still boost the damage a bit, but this should do a little bit less.
Goldango is nuts on its damage output.
Yeah, about a third there. Both these are dropped now, so another one should not finish off Allan's, even though it did over half.
Okay, so the question now is, how much does Stomping Tantrum do?
Yeah, I think you can start cooking if you're Allan with this Ogre Pawn.
Also could take advantage of a potentially double switch because I wouldn't because both of the remaining Pokemon are weak to Fairy. But we are going to see Flutter Mane switch out. So yeah, it's a pretty safe switch in now for Allan, and we did see one switch in here. Iron Hands coming in on Giovanni's side. Not bad, I'd say. Get those fake out pressure on the field as well as Allan's fake out pressure on the field with Iron Hands switching in on his side. I think we're kind of seeing a slight mirror here. Flutter Mane and Ogre Pawn being interchangeable, but other than that, and some different strategies on Goldango, but this Ogre Pawn terrestrializing here is kind of interesting though, because it is going to give it a boost on Ivy Cudgel, which is going to help it, and it gets a speed boost, but it's still kind of filling a support role with Follow Me in play, and Terra Grass Ivy Cudgel is not really going to help against anything in particular, although because the Flutter Mane has switched out, it's now faster than it. So that's kind of big.
Will do some big damage against Iron Hands. Gets the critical hit. This is Razor Claw, so it has 50% chance to critical hit any individual time. It gets another one. It's pretty good. Does take a decent chunk of damage from that Goldango. Now at -2, but hey, roll the dice again on another Ivy Cudgel.
To be honest, I think you kind of protect your Ogre Pawn and just Drain Punch on Goldango because it's gonna.
That's an option too.
Or Drain Punch Iron Hands. I mean, like.
Or you can.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just. You can do something like Fake Out Goldango and.
Yeah, just kind of
hit Iron Hands.
You go for a cross fake out because I'm assuming that this fake out's going on too.
That would make the most
Ogre
sense.
Pawn.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if there's no fake out on Ogre Pawn, especially for Giovanni. You don't want to risk a speed tie fake out loss here. And the switch out on Goldango is
at -2. You don't want to leave it in. But that does mean now that Allan has an opportunity if that was called out, because that is immune.
Oh, double switch.
Double switch for Geo.
It's not bad. We also get the reveal of this fourth Pokemon, which is Urshifu.
Yeah. Both these Pokemon will take a lot of damage to Ivy Cudgel. And it is the Ivy Cudgel.
I guess expected that double switch. Nicely done there.
It'll be neutral into Urshifu, but that'll definitely, it'll crit. It won't be the, and it's Heavy Slam into Flutter Mane. That's going to one-up.
Allan.
Ring the bell.
Allan read that. Allan read that like a book.
That was fantastic.
That was an amazing play. You could not have done that better. I mean, I would have expected one of the two to stay in, but Geo was like, I'm going to double switch, and Allan was like, yeah, I know what's happening. And at this point, you're pretty free to just go for a couple things. You could Follow Me, you could Spiky Shield, let Iron Hands is in a really good spot here to just start Drain Punching. And I think you kind of have to go for Follow Me because the Sucker Punch is looming on that Urshifu. So I think Follow Me plus a Drain Punch on Goldango is the right play here.
Yeah, and if you can get that Goldango out of the way, it will detect the Urshifu will.
That's fine. I think Sucker Punch, at this point, doesn't really matter. The only spread move that Goldango has is Make It Rain. You just didn't want that single target potential Psyshock or something like that to hit the Iron Hands because...
I'm so afraid of Psyshock now.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it did over half, so...
It did do a lot of damage.
It did way more than it had any right to.
I mean, that's not a bad turn for Geo. You finally get the Ogre Pawn out of the way. Your Golden Go probably drops the Drain Punch here.
Yeah.
Indeed it will, and Iron Hands is going to heal up quite a lot. But now if you're Geo, you just have to be playing around this Urshifu. It's going to be tough.
And the unfortunate part is your Flutter Mane is booster energy, so it is not going to be in the range to pick up the knockout on Iron Hands. It's got way too much
Flutter Mane also just got like absolutely destroyed by Heavy Slam.
Yeah.
So it's not
it's
there.
Iron
It's
Hands.
Iron Hands
My
coming
bad.
out.
It's Iron Hands.
I had to think about it.
No, I had to think about that too. I thought that. Yeah. Allan.
There's no HP.
Yeah, you just double up. One of the two will get faked out.
Yeah.
But this opposing Urshifu.
You can't play too
No.
loose if you're Allan, because and it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't even pick up the knockout.
And we can go ahead and call this one for Allan here. I think this Drain Punch finishes off the Urshifu, and now it is, I believe, 3 against 1.
Iron Hands against the world. Indeed,
Yeah.
there's one more in the back. It's the Golden Go in the back, which means it doesn't have a great attack against Iron Hands, but Iron Hands doesn't do anything to it. So.
Shadow Ball should be fine. You've got 30.
And
It's only at
Surging
40%.
Strikes should finish it off anyways.
And there's the forfeit.
There's the
Allan Martinez goes to the final. Oh my goodness. That was, I think, Allan just played right. And that call of the double switch in was just the read of the day, I think, so far. That was just brilliant, because that is what basically wrapped it up. Because after that, Giovanni was banking on that switch to catch Allan off guard and position himself better. And since Allan read it, it left Giovanni with no heavy hitters left in the back. And that is exactly why Allan is here right now, making those hard reads, being able to predict what his opponent does, and now in the finals because of it.
Yeah, just absolutely fantastically played by Allan Martinez. We will see him in the finals.
Yes.
We will find out who he is playing against in a moment when we get to finals. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be exciting.
See you guys soon.